This is you. Third floor of a house in Abbottabad, Pakistan. 12:30 in the morning. Moving up the last flight of stairs in total darkness, with your night vision turning everything the color of old money and a name in your head that has been there for almost 10 years. Osama Bin Laden. He is somewhere above you. Behind a door. In a room at the end of a hallway you've walked 100 times. In a replica built in a field in North Carolina. You know this building the way you know your own hands. What you don't know is what's behind the door. Your team leader's voice is barely a breath in your earpiece.
Third floor, stay tight.
January 2011, 4 months ago. Nobody tells you the target's name at first. That's not how it works. You're part of Red Squadron DEVGRU, what the public calls SEAL Team 6, and you've just come back from Afghanistan. You're supposed to be on leave. Instead, you're in a briefing room and someone is showing you aerial photographs of a compound in Pakistan. Big walls. 18 feet of concrete topped with barbed wire. No internet, no phone lines. The residents burn their own trash instead of putting it out for collection like every other house on the street. Someone built this place specifically so that nobody could see in and nobody would want to look twice.
We believe this compound is hiding a high-value target.
The briefer says.
Someone significant enough that the CIA has been watching it for 4 months from a rented house down the road.
He pulls up another image. A courtyard. A figure walking slow circles around it, staying close to the walls, never going near the gate.
We call him the Pacer.
He says.
6'4", walks for an hour every day, never leaves the compound.
You look at the photograph. You already know who it is. You think everyone in the room does. Nobody says the name yet. It started with a courier. Years ago, someone inside Al-Qaeda mentioned a name, a man who carried messages for Bin Laden personally, one of the few people trusted enough to be near him. The CIA spent years trying to find him. When they finally did, they didn't arrest him. They followed him, patiently, for months, until he drove back to a house in Abbottabad and parked and walked through a gate in one 8-foot wall. From that moment, the CIA rented a house nearby and watched. A drone called the RQ-170 Sentinel flew overhead, quiet and invisible, building up a picture of who lived inside and how they moved. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency made 3-dimensional models of the compound from the aerial footage. They measured the Pacer's height from shadow length and camera angle, 6'4", the same height as Bin Laden. They could never get a photograph of his face. Not one. After months of surveillance, the CIA still could not say with certainty that Osama bin Laden was inside that compound. But the probability was high enough that the President of the United States authorized a raid, and high enough that when you and your team were told the target's name, someone started to cheer. They build the compound for you in a field at Harvey Point, North Carolina. Full scale, same wall height, same gate positions, same layout of the main house, floor by floor. You run it in daylight. You run it at night, on night vision. You run it when things go wrong, when a door is stuck, when a teammate goes down, when the timeline slips and you have to improvise. You run it until your legs know where to go before your brain does. One night, running the 3rd floor for the 12th time in a week, someone asked the question out loud that everyone has been thinking.
Is it actually him? Are we sure?
The answer comes back flat.
No, we're not sure. That's why we're going in instead of dropping a bomb.
Nobody says anything after that. You just run the building again. Then they fly you to Nevada to test the helicopters at altitude, because Abbottabad sits at 4,000 feet above sea level, and altitude affects how a helicopter performs. Then to Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, where another full-scale replica has been built at a classified section called Camp Alpha, and you run it again. By the time you board the actual helicopter, you have walked every floor of that building so many times that you could do it blind, which is almost exactly what you'll be doing tonight, because the CIA is going to cut the power to the neighborhood before you land. The night before the mission, Command Sergeant Major Ferris stands in front of the assembled team.
Who dares, wins.
He says. It's the motto of the British SAS. It's the right thing to say. Nobody cheers this time. You just nod and go check your kit. May 1st, 2011. 10:30 p.m. local time. 2 stealth Black Hawks. 23 SEALs, 1 interpreter, and a Belgian Malinois named Cairo who has been on more deployments than half the men in this helicopter. His handler, a SEAL everyone calls Cheese, keeps one hand on the dog's vest the whole flight. The helicopters fly low, below radar, through mountain valleys, using the terrain as cover, 90 minutes from Jalalabad to Abbottabad. Inside, nobody speaks. The engines are specially modified to run quiet. These aircraft are classified versions of the Black Hawk that don't officially exist. Even so, you can feel the vibration in your boots and your back teeth. You think about the pacer, walking his slow circles in the courtyard, never leaving, living in that compound for 6 years, burning his own trash, no internet, no phone calls, surrounded by 8-foot walls, hiding from the most powerful military on Earth, 1 hour of walking at a time. Not tonight,
30 minutes,
the pilot says. The CIA cuts the power to the neighborhood at exactly the right moment. The lights below you go out. The whole street goes dark. Your night vision stays on. The world stays green. And then the first helicopter drops toward the compound and everything goes wrong. The compound walls are high, higher than the test site in Nevada used chain link fences to simulate. What nobody fully calculated is what those walls do to the airflow beneath the rotor blades. As the Black Hawk hovers over the courtyard, the air can't escape. It recirculates up through the rotors. The helicopter starts to lose lift, the tail swings. The tail rotor catches the top of the compound wall. The aircraft rolls. Not a crash. The pilot drives the nose down fast, fighting for control, and the helicopter settles at a 4-5 degree angle against the interior wall of the compound. Engines still running. Nobody is seriously hurt, but the first helicopter is on the ground and it is not going anywhere. The second helicopter, which was supposed to drop SEALs on the roof, diverts. It lands outside the compound wall. Those SEALs scale the 8-foot wall and drop in. The plan has changed. The mission has not.
We continue.
Comes the word.
Move.
The dog Cairo goes first toward the guest house with his handler. His job is to track anyone who tries to run and to find any hidden rooms or doors. The first resistance comes at the guest house door. Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, the courier who led the CIA here, fires through the door. Before it opens, a short firefight. He goes down. Bullet shrapnel from the exchange hits a pair of bolt cutters in one of your teammates' packs. A voice comes over the radio from the guest house team.
I shot one of them. His wife jumped in front of him and I shot her too.
Inside the main house, the second floor, Bin Laden's son Khalid is on the staircase landing, armed. He doesn't get to use it. You move up the stairs. The house is completely dark. Your night vision goggles paint the walls green. Every room you clear has been in your head for 4 months. You know which door opens which way. You know the distance from the staircase to the bedroom. Third floor. The door. You are at the top of the stairs. The bedroom door is partly open. Through the gap, something moves a face, peering out, looking down the staircase at you. The lead SEAL fires. Bin Laden pulls back into the room. You move through the door fast. Inside, a bed. A woman moving his wife Amal, stepping forward, arms out. The lead SEAL grabs her, shoves her aside, puts himself between her and the team in case she's wearing something under her clothes. Behind her, Osama Bin Laden. He is not what you expected. Not the footage from the videos, not the figure from the wanted posters. He is a tall man in a loose tunic and pants, standing in his own bedroom, and he has been shot and he is still standing and then he is not. You step forward, 2 shots to the forehead, then 1 more. Bin Laden goes down. The room goes still. Somewhere in the stairwell below, his 12-year-old daughter has been grazed by debris. His wife Amal has been shot in the leg and is still shouting in Arabic. Children on every floor are crying. This was always going to be part of it. You knew that before you came. Knowing it doesn't make the sound easier. The team leader gets on the radio.
For God and country, Geronimo E. K.I.A.
Enemy killed in action. In the White House Situation Room, 7,000 miles away, the President of the United States says 3 words.
We got him.
38 minutes. That's how long you are inside the compound from first boot on the ground to last man out. In that time, you clear every room, secure every woman and child with zip ties, collect hard drives, flash drives, phones, documents, a handwritten diary, DVDs, and somewhere in the middle of it all, video games. Counter-Strike. Osama Bin Laden, the most wanted man alive, was playing Counter-Strike. You also find 3 Kalashnikov rifles, 2 pistols, and nearly 100 thumb drives. You find 500 euros sewn into the fabric of the clothes Bin Laden was wearing tonight, along with 2 phone numbers. A man ready to run, always. A man who had been ready to run for 10 years and never quite got there in time. The crashed helicopter has to be destroyed. You can't leave classified equipment, stealth technology that doesn't officially exist in a Pakistani courtyard. The pilot smashes the instruments. SEALs pack it with explosives. The tail section has already landed outside the wall and you leave it. The main body burns. The sound of it going up carries across the neighborhood, and the crowd outside the wall gets bigger. A Chinook from the standby force comes in to take the extra personnel. Bin Laden's body goes with you. By the time you lift off, a crowd has gathered outside the compound walls. An Urdu-speaking officer talks to them through a megaphone, tells them it's a Pakistani military operation, tells them to stay back. Nobody knows yet what just happened in that house. Then a voice crackles through your earpiece. Pakistani fighter jets have been scrambled. They've picked up something in their airspace and they're looking for it. The helicopters drop even lower, threading through mountain valleys, using the terrain to stay off radar, the same route in reverse, flown faster. You make it out. Back at Bagram, DNA samples are taken and analyzed. Facial recognition, fingerprints, height measurement of the body. The certainty climbs to nearly 100%. It's him. Bin Laden's body was flown more than 850 miles to the aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson in the Arabian Sea. Religious funeral rites are performed. Then he is buried at sea, so there will be no grave. No shrine. No place for followers to gather. You don't see any of that. By the time it happens, you're already somewhere else doing the thing that comes next, because there is always a thing that comes next. What you remember later is not the 3rd floor, not the shot, not the radio call. You remember the walk up the stairs in the dark, the door slightly open, the face at the gap, looking down at you. If you want to see more missions like this one, check out our video on the Delta Force operation that captured a dictator. Click on it, and we'll see you in the next one.